First thing on the agenda is review meeting minutes from August 8th and 20... What's last Thursday?
16th.
And 16th. Do I have a motion to accept them?
Motion to accept August 8th minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I make...
Motion to accept August 16th minutes as amended.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
You weren't at the meeting, so you have to abstain.
I abstain, okay.
Okay.
Now, can I make my announcement?
Yes, you can.
I am resigning as chair of the select board. So I'm going to let Ernie and Bettina fight out the chairmanship.
I make a motion that Tina be chairman of the finance board.
No. I want finance. I don't want the finance.
Board of Selectmen, sorry, until February 2019.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then we want to do is the emergency management, and we, the police would like to take that as under their wings for them to take over. So I have a motion for that.
Who to take over?
The police department wants to take it over.
Okay. Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
The next on the, let's see, that's Ernie. The next one is the Town of Holland subordination agreement. Is that?
Can you speak up, please?
I'm sorry, the Town of Holland subordination agreement.
Which is what?
Ernie, you want to explain that?
You gotta refresh my memory.
3 towns.
Yeah, it's,
Was it Wales, Burnfield?
No.
no, it's subordinating an agreed upon amount of money that was committed to one of the local residents. When there's enough equity in the property.
No, that's not what this is for. This was something to do with, I think I'm going to ask we table that till next one.
Please.
Okay.
Motion to table, the subordination agreement.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The next thing is town administrator. We have interviewed candidates, and we have decided to appoint Janine Drake as our new town administrator, and she will start on next Thursday. So this is the last meeting I have to take notes. The next thing was the order of condition at the emergency action plan. We have to come up with something by October for emergency action for something to do if the dam should croak, die. And we have to have some kind of a plan in place. We have a plan that was done like in 2014, so it has to be redone.
As town administrator, doesn't this have to go before the town to get voted in?
No, it's
Why
like,
not?
because it's a
Who's
tenant,
creating this position, ma'am?
it's been a position,
Town administrator?
yeah, she,
Since when, ma'am?
we voted in as town administrator, the select board, how many months ago?
Months ago, we just changed the name. I mean, it was an executive secretary. We changed the name to town administrator, just so we can raise the level of
Just
professionalism.
keep it as an executive secretary.
The what?
Keep it as an executive secretary. not town administrator. What we have is working fine right now, why change it?
Because I think because the long-term strategic plan was to increase the professional level of competence in that office. And in order to do that, you know, what the town used to do is match up the job with the skills of the person that we hired. And a couple of years ago, we took a fundamentally different approach where we decided, well, let's create the skill set and find the person that can satisfy competently that skill set. So we changed around the whole approach, and at the same time, we changed the name from town.
So just you three decided to change it?
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's really allowed by Mass General Law.
Yeah, Mass General Law says you can do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay. So then we had the Hamilton Reservoir Dam Phase 1 inspection evaluation report. I don't think you've seen that report yet.
No, I haven't.
So do you want to table that until he has a chance to read it?
We can, or I'd like to read some comments
All right,
from the
go
report.
ahead. That would be fine.
We had Lennon Engineering do an inspection of the dam, and this is required by law. Every 2 years we have the dam inspected. And we hired Lennon Engineering this year, which is different from the past. And they stated the dam is classified as a large size structure with a high Class 1 hazard classification, and generally found that the dam to be in fair condition. There are no major deficiencies. Specific concerns include thick, uncontrolled vegetation and saplings on the left and right of the embankments, tall wetland and woody vegetation and debris in the downstream area, minor cracks in the concrete at the outlet structure and walkway section of the dam, cracks in the downstream curbing of the plunge pool, over eroded and spaced concrete below at the water line and all concrete structures, including spillway, outlet control structure, and training walls. No operation or maintenance manual. Their recommendations are to develop an operation and maintenance manual, to update the emergency action plan, which you had mentioned earlier, perform a detailed hydrologic and hydraulic at some time in the future to determine the hydraulic capabilities of the dam. Remove all woody saplings, vegetation on the dam embankments and within 20 feet of any part of the structure. Repair minor seepage in the base and the right way, and the right spillway base construction. Repair all cracks, spoiled and eroded concrete. Repair left downstream masonry channel wall. Repair sluice gate so that it seals when closed. And further in the report, I'd like to read paragraph 1.2.5, maintenance and operation. The town of Holland Highway Department is responsible for operation and maintenance of the dam. And they have a schedule of opinion of preferable, no, let me back up. They have opinion of probable cost for the different areas. Studies and analysis, operating and maintenance manual 3,000, hydraulic logic and hydraulic inspection $7,000, update of the EPA $1,000. They go on to mention repairs. Repair the sluice gate, $10,000. Resurfacing of the concrete, $600,000. Make a motion. We also make the report available on the website for taxpayers to read.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
All in favor? The next I had on was meet with the LOC if they wanted to talk to us tonight.
We're here.
Okay. So I was told that you guys wanted to talk to us. Okay?
Would you like us to come up there?
Whatever you'd like.
She's fired from here.
I'd like to give this to you guys for your office.
I'll bring the chair.
Oh,
I was gonna give it to Janine, but she's not here.
no, she had her last selectmen's meeting tonight. And
All right, is this
You
a
call
during
for it.
select board meeting, or how are we doing this? Last time we did it after the meeting?
This is their meeting.
This is in their meeting, okay.
so, okay, we were told you guys wanted to meet with us.
Well, yeah, we did, because the last meeting LOC had, I was gonna quit, because there's not much participation on the LOC's part and very little feedback from Board of Selectmen. So after I left, I guess Larry and Val discussed it would be important for us to meet with you guys and discuss our mission, why we came about, and what you guys feel we should be doing, and if we're being taken seriously or not. So that's why we requested the meeting.
Mhm.
The other thing, and you can chime in if you'd like, we have not been able to locate our secretary. I've written him a letter. Sharon upstairs has tried to call and leave messages.
Emailed them multiple times.
We've emailed him. I finally got a phone number from John Stevens, who was on our board, our committee. We can't get to him. He's got all the minutes other than what you might have.
Other than the few I have.
So,
Had a
you know,
minimum.
Had a minute.
and we also haven't gotten resignation from planning board. Who else?
Dennis, yeah.
Dennis is planning board, John Stevens, I don't know if he got one or not. So we're down to the three of us and Larry.
All right, so you need a new person from the planning board.
Right.
Okay, so I will make sure that gets taken care of at
Well, I
our
guess
next meeting.
the first and foremost question is, should we even exist anymore? Because what happens is my initial thought that I was told was the intent of the LOC was to work as sort of a clearinghouse of information from the people on the lake with concerns, to break those things down into reasonable and substantial ideas that are brought to you guys for action. Subsequently, what I've seen in my tenure on it is that we bring those things and then they get tabled and nothing happens. So do we still have a valid reason for existence, or should we put our attention elsewhere?
Well, I guess my first question would be, let's talk about the redundancies between the HRA and the LOC. I think there's a lot of overlap there.
Oh, I think that I think they're substantially different in having opposing directions.
Say,
The LOC would,
keep going.
The LOC is sort of here to buffer the lake things and make them more organized and brought to your attention. The HRA theoretically could just be there to be a continuous thorn in the town side. Because they're gonna do what's best for the lake, and they're gonna point out the things that aren't being done, whereas the LOC is to take all those things that people are saying and sort of channel them into more positive information to be action items for you guys.
So the HRA, when this whole thing started, the LOC started, it was back in 2006, I think, or
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
And before that, HRA would come to the Board of Selectmen with certain items that needed weed treatment. We're still involved in coordinating weed treatment because, quite frankly, no one knows about it but us. So when we formed the LOC, it was after the flood. We came to the Board of Selectmen and said, what the heck? What are you doing to support the needs of the lake? Maintenance of the lake, treatment of the lake, road repair around the lake, catch basin.
Protection of the lake,
Protection.
really.
Really.
Oh.
And the decision was of the Board of Selectmen to form this Lake Oversight Committee, so it's not an HRA or Friends of the HRA responsibility. Originally, a lot of the members were HRA members, including myself, and then we included, the Board of Selectmen wanted, Board of Health, which no one ever comes, but Val's on that board. Conservation was me. I think Andy's working on getting someone from Conservation. And then some ad hoc people. Well, the ad hoc people are you and I now. The boards aren't involved. We don't have the highway department except when we ask them to come. Planning board's not part of us now. If we can't get committee board members to be part of it, then why can't we have ad hoc people that are going to do some work? So that's part of it. I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't even know you guys know about. I mean,
Well, plus we redid the bylaws a couple of years ago to help clarify the role.
right.
of-
We report. We're advisory to you guys.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, and that was the original thought. I mean, I'm just talking out loud. I mean, would it possibly make sense for you guys to be independent of the Board of Selectmen and like a standalone committee? That I mean, I'm just like I said.
well,
I mean, there's something wrong with the way this body operates, and a lot of it has to do with lack of participation. But I think part of it is probably some structural inconsistencies where your role isn't necessarily clearly defined, being a board that reports directly to the select board as opposed to specifically putting you out there as a standalone committee and specifically defining your roles and responsibilities so you can act independent of the Board of Selectmen. I mean, I don't know.
That would have to
that's
go,
what we wanted a few years ago.
I know it is.
What
but
authority
that
do
has
we
to,
have?
go before the town meeting.
That's a town meeting.
But I'm thinking we need to, personally, is reach out back to the boards that are supposed to have people on it and get somebody on it, like, because Dennis isn't even around for like the planning board.
Right, right. And
So-
he's not coming back here, but, I mean, I don't even know if he, I mean, we mentioned, I think I have an agenda dated from June. There's stuff on this agenda that we have not addressed for months. So the frustration I personally have is, why am I on a committee coming up here every,
Right.
Well, yeah, and
nothing
we
happens.
moved
Whether
our
we-
meeting because I think there was 3 to 6 consecutive meetings where we showed up for our meeting time, and this is before Larry inadvertently volunteered to come on board, but there was nobody in the select board chair at our meeting, so null and void.
or we give information to, the
It's all right.
select board, and it went nowhere.
Okay.
It's like the issue with the letter to Brandon Cove a year ago. Like that we brought that, Chris did all the work to get the people, got the information, put it all together, And, you know, it was sort of a situation where Eli with his tennis racket knocked it back over the net and said, well, you guys write the letter to him. And the response was, we have no authority to do that. We can't speak for you. Well,
Right.
prepare the letter and then we'll send it. Well, no, that's not it either. Like, this is the concern. We sought out the people and formulated the concern into a fully baked pie. Here's the pie, do something with it.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at the agenda from the last meeting. There's so many outstanding items. Private roads and public roads.
Well, the identify the top 10 worst private roads,
Yeah.
you brought somewhat of a list the last time
Yeah.
that we met on 19 June, but that question was posed October of 17 to the highway superintendent, who stood here and said, I'll have to get back to you on that.
And then we missed the 319 application.
Yeah.
I mean, it just blew right by that. New business feasibility study status update.
Is there any more copies of the minutes?
Well, I mean, this one,
last-
we've sort of been kicking this one along since June, so we're gonna take another stab at it tonight.
Before I forget, Bettina, the last meeting we both had, Kelly took the notes. And for the life of me, I don't remember when that was, but she was gonna give us a copy of the notes she took, because it was your meeting. And that might help us a little bit too.
Was that
If
her?
if this is correct, did we meet June 19th? And that was when I said, I don't ever remember taking minutes. And then I went home and found some scrappy little notes
Mhm.
and I put it together. So I think that may be the last time we met as a
Might be the last time
committee.
We actually have it
We
approved.
met
But
as a
there was a
committee.
meeting in May, I thought,
Oh.
with the Board of Selectmen. It was after, it was right when Eli decided
But that's when, that meeting was because the feasibility study people were coming in and going
That's
to
right.
the start of their
That was
work.
Ah,
So it actually had nothing to do with anything other than that.
but she took the notes.
oh, okay. I remember
So
now. She
that was
here.
when, that was May,
She was here.
because they started the feasibility study in May.
All right, so let me see what we can find.
May, kickoff meeting occurred on May 1st, I think.
I mean, I have no problem with participating in anything, but, you know, you don't back a lame horse, you take it behind the barn and shoot it. And that's kind of, I need to know if we're a lame horse or not.
Okay.
Because the flip side of the coin is, on the HRA, like, there's stuff that needed to be accomplished, and we get a lot of participation, and things get done. So, instead of splitting your attention and my attention and other people's attention, or not having anyone pay attention,
Right.
You know, one of the things that was asked of me, you know, Kelly had her hands on the contract for the weed treatment. And because I probably know more about it than anyone, Solitude was told to send his surveys, his information, his post of pre-surveys to the Board of Selectmen. And that would go to Kelly, and he would copy me just because Kelly's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
So we can, HRA will coordinate that and be happy to put up signs, but it's really not our job.
Right.
You know, the contract is with the town. Now, here's a big question. The lake maintenance contract, the weed treatment contract, is up 2019. Does that mean the end of fiscal year 2019 or the end of 2019?
Then we have to find the contract and
Right.
figure out when it's up.
And the other suggestion was, because of the dollar amount, that we go to a year contract versus a 3-year contract. That's what Kelly was telling me before she left.
All right, I think we have to find the contract itself and see exactly what it says.
You know, we got to get some more people involved. So,
well, no, the primary question hasn't been answered, is there validity to it?
is it,
Because you don't get people involved and then, and still everybody tries to ride the lame horse.
I don't have an answer to that. I'm gonna think through that. I mean, that's a good
I
question.
mean,
All right.
You're 1/3 of the answer, so.
Now,
No.
a lot of these issues, one quick thing, the issues that we've worked on, couldn't get the grant, you do the weed treatment, storm drains, blah, blah. Should all that now come under the town administrator's area and let her worry about it? Because she's gonna be dealing with the Board of Selectmen. Everything would come, as Kelly got it all. Maybe, as we're saying, maybe we're not needed. But how do we know that the things that we've started are kept up by the town? That's the thing. Will all this stuff, just as you say, blow away? It's stuff that needs to be done for the town, but who's gonna push it?
Right.
I have to think about it. I mean, this is all new to me. Who is supposed to be on the Lake Oversight Committee?
Now, what is the committee supposed to be made, who is the committee supposed to be made up of?
It's made of, okay, 1, 2, 3 ad hoc.
3 ad hoc.
Conservation, planning board,
Board of Health?
I don't know if Board of Health is written in there.
Oh, they might not be. No, they
I
might
mean,
be
you're
just
sort
an
of
ad
doing it
hoc.
because you're
Yes.
So
They're not.
Conservation, Planning Board, and 3 ad hoc. Is that right?
5?
And select board.
One
And
select-
select board.
Select
One
board.
select.
I might have the bylaws.
Okay.
So we've got Larry.
Because it's 3 ad hoc, but we don't have anybody from Conservation, or, no, Ernie, are you,
Andy.
huh? Not Ernie, I'm sorry.
Andy.
Andy?
Sorry, I called him Larry.
We're working on it.
Oh, you're working on it right now, because you were on it okay.
Well,
And then
Most
I,
question answered, don't you?
and then I will deal with the Planning Board.
Who's on the planning board now?
Dennis is still on it. Josh Johnson, Alan Johnson, myself, and Cindy.
What are you? Okay.
So I will bring it up at our next meeting.
So what about if we do stay involved? What would be a good way to communicate? I mean, Larry's the select board rep,
Mhm.
so he brings back to you guys what's necessary.
Yeah.
Should-
Which-
Should we meet quarterly? That was what we talked about.
You're getting too far ahead.
Okay. You know me?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, start at the start, and the start is, which do you pick?
Can I comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
It seems like the only difference between LOC then and now is control of the money. You know, they had the budget, you guys did the control of the weed treatment and like that. The big separation occurred when, Eli wanted the control of the money to be with the select board. I mean, either way is fine. On the one hand, I think that cutting the select board out of it is gonna hurt, because ultimately it's gonna go there, but it's deciding what your role is gonna be. I hear more talking, but you haven't answered the fundamental question.
Well, there's some fundamental dysfunction with this group, and the question is,
Yeah.
what are our options in terms of streamlining it so that it's efficiently well-run town local machine, I mean, I've been going through this with the since I became a selectman. We've always had issues with the LOC to the point where it dissipated off the face of the earth for the longest time.
Right,
And
because
then
one
we-
of the selectmen was insulting to us, and we were doing all the work. We wrote the weed treatment contract.
Yeah.
We wrote the feasibility bid, and that takes a lot off of you guys. I don't mean to be,
But then the second that anything of any importance is brought to the issue where it would require movement, it was, well, you guys don't have the authority to move on that. So, don't empower and castrate with the same sword.
our hands are tied.
The select board's gotta decide whether they're in or out, basically.
Yeah,
And if you choose out, what I foresee is you're gonna have Lake Association members paying taxpayers all over you. And I don't mean that as a threat, but they come to HRA, we give them an LOC report, that sort of buffers things. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, the boat launch stuff.
Yep.
The HRA is trying to work with the town to be supportive financially as well as use our knowledge to help. It's not, that dividing line needs to go away. And I think if you, they're even confused. So what's LOC versus HRA? Well, it's different. It's not a membership. It's a committee reporting back to you guys.
Right.
But every committee puts in a suggestion of the budget for their area.
Right. And Ernie, last year, we gave that budget to the Board of Selectmen. And it never got to you. Kelly revised it without even knowing that additional money was needed.
Well,
So that's a frustrating thing for us.
times change. Kelly's
Well,
not here.
Yeah. Now we're in bigger trouble.
No.
No.
We're
Do we have somebody
reminders
from-
too. We're the
Right.
reminder people.
Yeah.
Oh, in 6 months, we're letting you know up ahead, this needs to be done. Will someone get the paperwork and begin it? I think knowing the issues that the board needs to do, maybe we're the ones that bring it forth. Say, don't forget, you have this coming up, and it gives them a heads up to have it
Yeah, but the
start.
HRA will do the same
But they
thing.
could do the same.
Yeah, but
But you don't have a committee really for the HRA that presents to the Board of Selectmen.
Either way, it's got to get to them.
It's got to get to them.
yes, but I prefer that it be 6, not 100.
320 now.
Well, I'd rather it was 6 than 322.
See, one of the things I like about the HRA is, even though I live on the lake, I don't understand a lot of these scientific things, like the study, the feasibility study, the dredging. I mean, there's so much going on. It's nice to have some subject matter experts to at least put on my radar screen some of the major issues that go on with the lake without me having to find out on my own,
When's the last meeting you went to?
The last one you had.
Oh. Okay. Well, we try to get that information out to our members via email. And I'm not even going there. I
You
don't
do
know
a
how-
good job of
I don't know how
sending
many
email
questions I
things
got.
out. Yes,
How
you
much
do.
money do I have to send? Where do I have to send it? So,
But once again, that line's blurred. Is that the HRA or is it the LOC?
well, it's the HRA because that question has to do with what we're doing. The HRA agenda was emailed out this week for the meeting coming up. The feasibility guys offered to come to give us an update. They should be coming to LOC and BOS, but because that community will be in one place one day, they're coming there. So that might fill you in. But I'm not sure.
I guess my point is I see the value to the LOC is a clearinghouse of information regarding issues around the lake.
But the result of the clearinghouse of the issues is we clear them and present them and
Nothing
came of
happens.
them. Nothing came of them.
Yeah.
Many of them. I mean, some
But-
things did. The dam maintenance was brought up, they're working on that. The feasibility study happened.
But did the dam maintenance come about because
LOC
it's a lake
work.
issue, or did it come about because it's a public safety issue?
Oh,
But it's gonna come about
but
whether it's
it
a
came,
public
but
safety
LOC
issue or
was
not.
pushing it a few years ago, if I
I
remember right.
remember, they were.
I would like to see LOC stay on, and I'd like to see us work better with you.
So if it's a select board directed committee, then the three of you need to determine what you would like to see it be.
I think we need to think on that and come back to you on it, because,
I want to go through the bylaws again, too.
yeah.
That's a good starting point. What did we put together a few years ago when we changed the roles and responsibilities of the LOC, and what roles did we outline in the bylaws? And they are in the town bylaws, so that's a good starting point. And, you know, you gotta start somewhere. And, I mean, what was our expectation in terms of 2 or 3 years ago? And have we satisfied the expectations? Have we deviated from those expectations? Let's just start off with a review of the bylaws and see where we were then and where we may want to evolve to over the next few months. I think that's a good starting point.
Do you have them that you could send to us?
What?
The bylaws? 'Cause I
Me?
don't- Yeah, who's got the bylaws?
They're
Put it
online.
online.
Oh, they are for, yes,
Yeah.
all right, that's where I saw them last.
You know, here's just another example. We talked about private roads and public roads back in October with Brian. And I recall talking about the same issues back in 2009 when we did the first
Yeah.
319 grant.
Mhm.
And he agrees that, you know, we should plan something so that we can work on a couple of these private roads on an annual basis. But we can't control that. And you can't control
Control that
Brian.
either.
You know, so
And
that's
another thing
a
is,
real
well, and part of,
headbanging.
and part of the problem with that is what we have for money to work on the roads,
Right.
because we don't have it.
Right.
So that's part of our dilemma.
Well, it doesn't come out in, you know, in meetings like this, the decision, if there's no money to do something, you know, from all I've been to and have heard, yeah, everybody, the LOC gets together and gets a list and a whole bunch of junk together, the select board gets involved in it, on and off. There's nothing consistent with either one of the groups. So, you know, Larry's got something going. Forget about the past at this point, because there's no sense of bringing it up. It's all a dead issue at this point. You gotta start over, go through the bylaws, you know, give yourself, you know, you meet every 2 weeks, I'm assuming, you know, to get this thing going. If you're gonna meet, you
Yes.
know, when the select board meets, then that's consistent.
So let's.
I agree 100%. That's why the first question I asked is, does it need to exist or not? And if you say yay, then you go about a systematic process, start with the bylaws and see what the framework needs to be. Then the three, you need to rub your heads together and figure out what you'd like it to be.
But let's,
I think the three of us almost agree that we'd like it to exist.
Yes.
Yes. So,
You can go to a lot of the neighboring towns, and they have an LOC type of organization, and I'm sure they have information as to what their responsibilities
Sturbridge has a
are
great committee.
online. You just could look at that and see what.
I think what you gotta do is the select board has gotta get together and look at the bylaws, let the, you know, come up with recommendations, whatever. needs-
So let us
you
do
know,
that.
And then get back to
The
us.
LOC
Yeah.
needs to get a hold of the bylaws, and then the next time you guys meet and give yourself whatever, you know, don't keep on dragging it on. In 2 weeks, you gotta come back in between the two sides, looking, okay,
All right,
yes,
we will.
we wanna keep this
Sounds
thing
good.
going. At least you're gonna form an attack in 2 weeks as to what, you know, where to go.
Can the three of us do that then, or do we need more members
Well, in
for
the meantime,
us?
you got everybody
You know?
looking for more volunteers, so.
yeah, I
that
mean,
can be
let's
played-
work,
that can play on
let's
as well.
work with the group that we have.
I
All
agree with
right,
your
we'll
reference
work the three
to
of us.
use other communities as a guideline, but I think you have to specify to what the three of you think it needs.
It's just for information.
just for
Information, right.
information.
When
But I
do we
think
meet?
right
May
now,
jog some
personally,
thoughts.
We're actually done.
personally, I want to read the bylaws and see what they say, and I want to see how it was set up and what was for originally.
And
Yeah.
it
Before
tells,
I,
it also states
before I
how
can
many
make
members.
any,
Yeah, I know.
All right,
When,
All right.
Can I
have you
ask
usually been free
some
now, every other
feasibility
week or
study
something?
questions?
sure.
well, we are,
Are they done? We got a bill.
You got a bill?
Yeah, we got a bill, $50,000.
Well, was it $97,000?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. My understanding was they wouldn't be done until October.
so maybe this is a
But
halfway.
I thought they
But
were
here,
paying on schedule.
oh,
Okay. All right,
And you were told it was gonna be the end of
Well,
next year.
but that's if we get the bill, we go out and get a loan,
Oh,
then we don't have to pay till the following year.
this schedule shows, they were supposed to have a meeting in August. I wonder if they're considering our lake meeting. Maybe you guys should
I
come.
don't know, I'm still waiting for a more detailed schedule, because I thought that thing was a joke, but.
And then, another meeting at the end of September.
Well, I would hope we have something to show for $50,000.
Technical meeting towards the end of September. See, they're even confused. LOC project update at the August 25th meeting,
That's
which is our
Saturday.
HRA meeting. They are coming, I talked to the guy.
Okay.
I verified too.
And so it might be good, well, you'll probably be there, if you guys can,
When is it?
it's this Saturday.
This Saturday?
8:30.
It's on your calendar, don't you buy a calendar?
8:30.
No, I just can't believe it, because usually, isn't it usually later in the second meeting?
No, it's always the last
Before Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Really?
okay.
So
All right.
they're coming to the Saturday meeting.
Yeah, they are,
Okay, and where is the meeting?
at the community center.
I'm sorry?
Community center?
Okay.
And you know, like, we'll do our business, Bettina, like, we do refreshments at 8:30, and then, we go through our
Do they
reports.
have a time that they're gonna report?
9:15.
I doubt that, but 9:30 is pretty probably good.
I can't
Because we got a lot.
I will,
It
I
won't
hope
be
they
that
come with
bad.
something.
Well, 9 o'clock we start, so
Substantial.
9:30
okay.
is only half an hour.
All right,
So are we gonna
That's
meet
good.
next 2 weeks, or no?
I would say it would make sense, because we will have had the LLC meeting, we would have gotten the bylaws distributed, we'll have a starting point, and we'll...
all right, so what we'll do is I'll have our meeting first, I'll end our meeting, and then we'll have a joint meeting afterwards.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
What date is that?
I don't know, I have my
I
calendar,
don't know.
please.
This one is right.
This is next
Is it
year's
gonna be
calendar.
September?
September 4th.
September 4th.
It's the next board
September
select
4th, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we'll plan on that.
That doesn't work for me.
Not good for you.
I'm in Florida.
Ooh.
Well, we can come and see what's, I have,
Just pass your notes on them, because you keep
hopefully, we'll have some new
Jamie,
members.
Well, you won't,
I'll get you
because they're
I'll
not
get you the
meeting
bylaws,
before
and
then.
we'll at least have a
That's right.
chance to look at them, and maybe
Yeah.
weigh in before the meeting, just so we'll get your input.
Can you call in?
Sure.
okay.
So about 6:15-ish, right?
I'll let you know closer to that date if it needs to be a little later.
Okay.
Depends on our
That's a good
agenda is,
idea.
Okay.
okay? All right, I thank you for coming and seeing us.
you.
Good. Thank you.
Ernie, can you
Alright.
send us, or one of us, a copy of the dam report? Or are you gonna put it online?
I'm gonna put it online.
Okay. All right.
But I can,
Get ready to
I got a
adjourn.
soft copy, I'll forward it to you also.
So I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn. unless there's
Second.
I think
something
that's a good
else. All right.
beginning.
We got public access, or?
It was not even, it wasn't on the agenda.
They've been chiming in
Okay.
anyways.
All right, so I'm making a motion to adjourn at 6:43.
We have to have a-
Aye.
open close it.
Okay.